Not that one, this one. Hey guys, welcome to Chord Dave Live number 99, which is a certain number away from 100. So thanks for being here. It's cool. Love to see you all, as always. Just a couple of things to say before we get started. Thanks for being here. And if you've never been to Chord Dave Live before, make sure you're subscribed. Hit the like button and then comment in the chat there, because you have to be subscribed for at least a minute to do so, and we'll all say hello back. I promise. Yeah, lots of cool people are here. I presume we're going to talk about Slash at some point. It's so funny. But anyway, we'll talk about it. So yeah, let's dig into all the chats and stuff and see how we get on for episode number 99 of our Saturday live streams. It's wild. I'll save my emotional stuff for next week, but thank you so much for being here and for hanging out with me tonight. This beer is still San Miguel in the fancy San Miguel glass. So to all you San Mig drinkers out there, sláinte. That's a tasty beverage. Anyways, Scott Bogfoot was here first, as he 99% of the time is. Great to see you, Scott. Hope you're well. So Ryan's here as well. Great to see you, Ryan. Hope all's good with you, my friend. Richard Virginia says, hi Dave, I can't be with you today, but I just joined Patreon and I enjoy your shows tremendously. Take care, everyone. Thanks, Richard. Hopefully you get to watch it back if you get time later, but thank you so much for that. Appreciate it so much. And the Patreon is a super cool thing to sign up for. Thank you so much. And just to throw it out there, I might say this later as well when there's more people, but if you are going to sign up to Patreon at any time for any YouTube channel or any creator channel or anything like that, November is the month to do it, because payouts for the November signups come in December, which means you're giving us a Christmas present, basically. So if you want to do that to whichever channel you would like to do that for. People don't often think, like, people think sometimes as soon as you sign up, they get your money. It's a month later. So November is a good month to do that if you want to support any YouTube channel or any Patreon channel or anything like that. So thank you, Richard, for that. Very good stuff indeed. Scott says, good. Shops are all closed, so I still got Friday's paycheck. I get paid monthly, so I'm 2 weeks away from another paycheck. So I don't still have all my paycheck. Shit's been happening a lot. Rob F says, I did a few choirs and spend a good part of my day practicing chords on my Strat. Great to see you, Rob. Hope you're well, my friend. Practicing chords on a Strat is a good way to spend a Saturday afternoon, for sure. Good stuff. Formerly known as T, says, all right, guys, how goes it? Good to see you, T. Hope all's good with you, my friend. Yeah, let's see what we've got here. Rob is good in Maryland as well, so that's great. Strats are good for learning. Strats are good for lots of things. If you have to hammer some nails in or something. Just kidding. Strats are great. Everyone loves them. I don't know why. I just have a thing where I'm just not the biggest Strat fan in the world. No idea why. It's probably nothing. Let me just check something here actually while I have you. Yeah, that's all good. Is it? Hang on a second. Are the chats coming in live? I didn't. You know how YouTube messes with me, guys. We're 99 streams in and I'm still like, what's YouTube doing? Why are they doing it this way? We'll figure it out. It'll be fine. I say that every week and it's never fine, but it's we're doing our best. Doing our best here. Rob says, Scott, the Strat is my first guitar, so it was a special place in my heart. Very cool. I'd say a high percentage of guitar players, their first electric guitar was a Strat, which is great. Very cool indeed. The first electric guitar I ever played was a Strat. It was my dad's Strat. And yeah, but when I got my own guitar, it was a Les Paul copy. It's kind of like a Les Paul special copy, but still. Rob says, I will tell beautiful wife that, though I fear she will not fall for it. Having fun is being productive. I think that is fair. It's for your mental health. You got to keep your mental health these days. It's a big focus. T says, what do you think of the new Gibsons? Some nice tops / colors. Yeah, it's an interesting question because they're new. There are changes to the Gibson lineup, which some people are not going to be happy with. I'm in the middle because I like some of them, and I also am like, oh, that's cool, but is it? Um, T says, of course she will. Women love it. I'm not touching that with a. Rob says, I think the new Gibsons are an excellent entry point to the line, though. I wish they hadn't done away with the tribute. They could have simply increased its price slightly so as not to compete. And it's a very good point Rob makes, because if you don't know, the Gibson Modern Light is replacing the um, the Les Paul Modern Light is replacing the SG and the Les Paul tributes so far in the Gibson lineup. So if you want a Les Paul and you want a new one from Gibson, it's what is it, 14.99 in the States? They're going for 15.99 here in Europe. So that's your new entry level Gibson price. Now there was this very handsome, very gorgeous looking Irish YouTuber fella who was talking about 2 years ago about this was going to happen. Epiphone prices would rise, and then when they get to a certain level, Gibson prices would be about $100 more, and people called him crazy. And now everything he said came true. And I'm not one of those conspiracy theory people who says I believed it, so you should have listened to me. I was giving you facts. People were telling me stuff, and I was reporting it back, and now here we are. It's true now in 2023. So it's 2024. The entry level Gibson price is going to be 15.99 here in Europe and 14.99 in the US. Um, I love the Gibson Les Paul Modern Light. It's the guitar I've kind of always wanted Gibson to put out and have in their collection, an SG size Les Paul. I think it's going to be killer. It's going to be great for learners, for beginners. But who really picks up a Gibson guitar as their first guitar? Who drops $1,500 or €1,600 on their first guitar? Sure, some people do, but not everybody. In fact, a very select few. And if you did, good for you, man. That's awesome. But a lot of people are starting in the like $500 range. Um, and so these guitars are out of their range. So I hope they bring out an Epiphone version. I think that'd be very cool to see. They'll say that there's already different types, but if you want a full scale Les Paul now, it's going to cost you the full size Les Paul. Um, it's going to cost you what, 17.99 for a studio, or 19.99? I can't remember how much they're going for, but yes, they're cool guitars. I really like what they're doing. But as I said, price point, I've been talking about it for 2 years, and I think they've gone up from 1,000 for an entry level Gibson at one point, not so long ago, to now 1,500. Um, it's a lot, and it's not a full bodied Les Paul either. So I mean, it's the same price for the SGs as well. So I don't know if they're bringing out a new version, a new slimmer SG or a scaled down SG, or what they're doing there. I'd be surprised if they don't put an SG beside that. But for now, the tributes are they're an end of line. If you see one, in fact, you'll probably see them being sold out, or what do you call them, blown out over the Black Friday sort of thing. If stores have them in stock, they'll probably reduce them as much as they can and sell them. So yeah, keep an eye out for good deals on tributes because they're great guitars. But yeah, I like what they do. I hope they do more finishes and stuff like that. But I do like what they have already. Formerly known as T says volcano about to go off in Iceland. I wonder will it affect the price of guitars? Maybe, but I will. I have a really interesting volcano story that I can tell you guys. It changed my life. It honestly changed my life. This volcano story. It was an Icelandic volcano. Um, when was it? 2010. Let me check. This is worth the wait. Uh, because honestly, not just my life, a major celebrity's life was changed by this volcano and mine at the same time. Um, when did that come out? It was 2010. Yeah, it was 2010. All right. So there used to be, maybe there still is, a website here in Ireland called movies.ie. And I was a big forum user back in the day, and I was in the forums, and they had a competition from Paramount Movie Pictures Studios. The prize was an all expenses paid first class trip to the world premiere of Iron Man 2. And they ran this competition for about a month or 6 weeks or something like that. And I know the website had like 500 active users, and a load more came in because of the competition. and I won the competition. So I won this all expenses paid trip to London to stay in like some snazzy fancy hotel with the Hollywood people, like in the same hotel as them. Go to the world premiere with all the celebrities and the royal family who I probably would have got in trouble with, and all of those, like all the fancy people go to movie premieres. Um, Driven to and from, and like certain amount of spending money, all that sort of stuff. But the volcano erupted. I can't remember its name. The Icelandic volcano erupted, and there was loads of ash. And the stars of the movie decided they weren't coming to London, so I missed my chance to meet Scarlett Johansson. And I feel like if we'd met, we would have hit it off and got married. So yeah, our lives were irrevocably changed on that date in 2010. So Icelandic volcanoes have ruined my life once. I hope they don't ruin it again this time. Uh, who knows? A couple of years later, I met someone else and had a very long and very nice relationship with them. But you know, that Scarlett story has stuck with me. Yeah, the one time I was like the luckiest person in the world and won like this amazing prize, I didn't end up getting it. I got a trip to the Irish premiere in Dublin, in the Savoy Theatre in O'Connell Street, and I got put up in a four-star hotel, which was quite nice. And I got, I think, 500, 300 or 400 euros in room credit, which was about enough for two dinners in this hotel. So, so yeah, it was a letdown. The Irish celebrities who turned up, I didn't care for them so much. Nobody interesting turned up at it. So there you go. That's my Icelandic volcano story. Ruined my life. I hope this one works out better for everybody else. Uh, there you go. Um, Let me see. I expect the volcano will mess with air travel in Europe. That's exactly what happened last time. It was a bit of a pain in the arse if you did have any trips planned. And celebrities wouldn't fly to London apparently for some stupid reason. Uh, Scott says, "Okay, I'm back from watching Pompidou Lou." What? Anyway, I'm sure that's the thing. Anyway, that's my. I hope you liked my story. By the way, it's 100% true. 100% true. And actually, because it was on a forum that they were giving the prize, so and nobody knew when the prize was being announced. On the day before, maybe 2 days before, I put up a message in the forum saying, "Hey guys, I won the competition. Thank you so much to everybody. Can't wait to meet Scarlett Johansson and get married." Because that was my plan. I was going to meet her, get and like be like, "Hey, let's get married." And the I got the email like 2 days later. "Congratulations, you've won the prize." And nobody believed me the second time. It was like the boy who cried wolf, except boy who cried won competition. But there you go. Dreams do come true and then fall apart. Christopher Coburg says cheese tortellini soup with garlic bread and red wine. Mic drop. That is a mic drop. Damn it. Uh, Thanks, Chris. Glad you came to see us. And New York cheesecake for sweets. Well, thank you, Chris. We are now very jealous. Good job. And thanks for joining us. Always great to see you, man. T says, "Could you get her into drums or bass, Rob?" I think T is trying to set you into a band here with your missus. Chris says, "Gonna walk the canine." Yeah, they need to be walked. Definitely take care of that. Rob F says, "I have a beautiful wife a keyboard. Gave beautiful wife a keyboard in our 2022 anniversary. She always wanted to learn piano." Very cool. Yeah, I've always wanted to play piano, to be honest. Another story. This is the first time I ever got a credit card. Like the day it landed on my mat, I went out and bought a keyboard with my credit card and paid for it for like 6 years. Formerly known as T says, "You will have to do a duet for the 100th show." I mean, if anyone wants to do a duet for the 100th show, you are welcome to. I don't think I will be part of it. I will be part of the 100 show, which is next Saturday. And I'll be honest with you guys, I have nothing prepared yet. I have great plans, but sometimes life is busy and there's a lot going on right now. And work is being a B word. You know that B word that has a B and in the middle is a T and at the end of it is a H? Work is being one of those at the minute, so I can't really say any more than that. I'm pretty sure you guys don't know who I work for, what company. If you do know, don't put it in the chat because I might be being monitored at the minute outside of work in case I say something that I'm not supposed to. So don't say. But I work for a company and they're not being helpful right now. But hey, Whenever are they? Anyways, we roll on. We just ignore that and have fun. Scott Bogfoot says, anyone new here, welcome. You'll have to subscribe and wait for 1 minute before you can chat in the best chat on YouTube. It also gives you access to our chat. And most of the cool people in YouTube are here. Rob says, problem is every time she plays, the kids want to take over the keyboard from her. So she has to sneak in practice with headphones or when they're in school. I mean, I usually have to practice with headphones when I'm playing guitar. So yeah, I get that. All right. Although, as you guys know, my neighborhood is full of terrible, noisy musicians. So I can be another terrible, noisy musician in my neighborhood. Why not? Seeing as we have them. Let's see. Where are we? I think I got a super chat. Where is it? There it is. Super chat from the ever so generous Muddy H2O, everybody's favorite Muddy, says, hey, handsome fella, got any good leaks or information about the Epiphone Greenie yet? Wait, you call and me and work the same thing. It means different things when I say it to you. Thank you, Muddy. You are such a super kind and generous and lovely person. Not a B with a T in the middle and a H at the end. Not one of those at all, except sometimes. We'll talk about the leak thing in a while as well. But yeah, we'll get some opinions. I get your opinions to see what we think. But thank you, Muddy. You are super kind and lovely and wonderful. What else did I say I was going to talk about? So I've got that / leaks / and something else. Yeah, maybe remind me, because there was a couple of things I want to talk about on the stream today, just to get them over and done with. The / one's hilarious. I just can't believe so many people dived into that. But hey, Scott Bugfoot says, damn snowstorm making my life more winter-like. That's what happens in November, man. November equals wintry times, right? Yeah, which means more spending money on heating and all that sort of stuff, and less on guitars for some people. Although I had no plans to buy guitars this year until at least next year at the minute, so it's a sad time right now. T says, did you see the new Martin D19 190th anniversary making 190 printed top on it, but nice specs? I didn't, but if Martin want to send me something like that, that'd be cool. The only Martin story I've seen, this is how much I don't really pay attention to acoustic guitars, is when the only Martin story I've seen is that Jason Momoa bought the first something that they made. So yeah, he's a cool guy though. I like him. He's one of my favorite Aquamans, in the top 2 anyway. Rob F says, gave my granddaughter a drum kit last Christmas. My grown-up daughter had no clue what she was getting in for. She said it was okay to gift. Well, there you go. I'm sure she will be more careful what your gifts are this year, sir. Great job there. T says his rating there. Where were you again, T? Sligo, somewhere out in the west? Well, here in the southeast, I don't think it's raining today. No, it doesn't sound like it's raining. Marsha's here. It says, hey peeps. Hello, Marsha. Good to see you. I hope you are doing well. Formerly known as T says, hope you got your daughter headphones that year. It's noise cancelling headphones. Sony makes some of the best ones, and they don't pay me to say that. I've no affiliate link for Sony headphones, but I use them myself. That's all I can say. I use the XM4s. They're the ones I use. They're really good. Rob says, at least I included a practice pad with the kit. Well, there you go. No need for anything else. It's all good. Ryan says, hey, sorry I was driving and dropped my phone under the seat. Hey, well, no worries, Ryan. Yeah, take care when you are out there driving. I'm sure you could, or now you can hear us, so hopefully at least. Rob says, she's a big girl. She simply banished the kit to the basement. Well, there you go. Cushman NYC is here. Great to see you, man. Hope you are well. Says, hello all, and hello, Dave. Great to see you, Cushman. Hope all's good with you in New York City. And DMAC is here as well. Great to see DMAC as always. As it is great to see Ben Allmark. Says, good evening, Dave, ladies and gentlemen worldwide. Hope everyone's doing well, healthy, and happy as pigs in poop. Indeed. Thanks, Ben. Great to see you, man. Marcia says, I just read that what you said about the drum kit. Yep, that's hilarious. Got banished to the basement. I mean, most houses in Ireland don't have basements. So what would we do? Where would we banish people to? It doesn't bear thinking about. There you go. I've never been in. Actually, I was in a house once that had a basement, but that's a long story. And it's not as exciting as the Scarlett Johansson Icelandic volcano one. So there you go. T says, anyone planning on picking up something with the old Black Friday sales on? It would have to be a really good deal. T, like for example, if any of the companies started selling Gibson Les Paul tributes for like $8.99, I would snap one up. But I don't think they will. But who knows? I'm like Black Friday's not for. I don't know if this is the same in the US and Canada, but here everywhere has Black Friday event, and it's like all month long. It's so stupid. And then, or some places call it Black November. I was like, lads, would you just do it on one day like you're supposed to, for God's sake? Yeah, it's a bit stupid. So there we go. That's my little, one of my little Dave rants for today. Glenn Bailey's here, says, hello all. Great to see you, Glenn, my friend. Hope you are well and having a good time. Poor old Glenn was stranded at a post office this week, early in the morning. And it was, he just had to wait. And he took some artistic photos. And great to see them, Glenn. So thanks for just sharing with the world. I enjoyed them. And yeah, great to see you, as it always is. Ben says, I wonder if the grocery stores will have Black Friday sales, and not likely. Not in my neighborhood. So, but you never know. Rob says, I have to start getting Christmas gifts. I'm looking at the Pink Squire Sonic Strat for my youngest daughter, complete with Hello Kitty sticker. Now, no way I'm getting her a real one. Well, there you go. Yeah, absolutely. The real ones are kind of pricey now for what they are, for sure. Matt Van Bosch is here. Great to see you, Matt. Hope you are well, my friend. And let me see. Glenn Bailey said, hey, a cat named George this morning told me I was Scott Bogfoot. So here's my my blue wrench. I mean, I can give you a blue wrench if you want. I think Marsha would get angry with me if I did. So I'm fine with giving you a blue wrench if you request one. Rob says to Ben, she's giving her a 3/4 scale Yamaha acoustic to my grandson. Then my niece is getting a violin and giving her 3/4 scale Ibanez to the other grandson. Sounds like a pretty cool upgrade there, to be honest. Richard Clark is here. Great to see you, Richard. Hope you're doing well, my friend. We've got a lot of Richards in the group, which I like. Yeah, cool. I'm not going to say anything else. Scott says, I think this year I will get a violin. I mean, okay. You can't include a violin in the My Only Guitars series, Scott, because they're not guitars. But I do still want to see that, because I do enjoy your video series. And guys, Scott does videos every week and every day. Or very regularly. You should check them out on his channel. Just when you're not watching Chord Dave. He did steal my time zone, my time slot last week. So support him by watching his videos. Muddy H2O with yet another super chat. Our patron saint Muddy H2O says, tell us how it makes you feel that it's named Black Friday and not Pelham Blue Friday. Completely fine. It's never even crossed my mind. If it was called Green Friday, I'd probably have more of a patriotic feeling towards it, to be honest. So yeah, absolutely fine that it's Black Friday. I wish it was just a single Friday. That's all. I love those videos of people beating the crap out of each other for TVs. Although I shouldn't say that. I think that upset someone last time we were live. Steve Cassidy, guitarist here, says, hello, Dave and friends. Hello, Steve Cassidy. How are you, my friend? Great to see you. And yeah, listen, sooner or later we'll get around to doing something together. I promise you, life's been hectic, man. Absolutely, just reach out again whenever you do have time or have a good idea for what we could do. But yeah, life has been hectic. But great to see you, man. Hope you're well. Rob says, hello, Dave. I missed the last week in the month. I've been watching. Month plus I've been watching. I don't know what else to do with my Saturday evenings. Well, hey, Rob, thanks so much, man. Yeah, it's a weird one. I'll be honest with you. Last week just needed a break. Everything's just getting a bit crazy around here. So just needed that break last week. And actually took everything I do on weekends. I just took off and just was like, I'm not doing it this week. I'm doing something else. So, but we're back, and it's 99 this week and 100 next week. So thanks, Rob. It means a lot to me when you guys say things like that. And it does motivate and energize me to do the show. So thank you so much there. Let me see what else we got. Rob says, I need to figure out how to change date of my Patreon payment for your channel. I'll see if I can figure that out. I think I can message you on Patreon, Rob. I'll see if I can figure that out for you. And I'll send you a message on Patreon tomorrow. If you haven't heard from, I think you can message me on Patreon. So if you haven't heard from me by tomorrow, just send me a message to remind me, because likely I will forget. Cushman says, did I hear Slash ditched Marshall? Question mark, question mark, question mark. No. So Slash has not, just in case you guys have not heard this, he has put out a statement. He is not leaving Marshall. He is just also working with Magneton, which is unusual, but is, pretty much Slash can do whatever the fuck he wants. No company's going to be like, all right, Slash, you only work with us. He'll be like, all right, well, I just tear up my contracts. Thanks, bye. But let's get into it, right? Because this story broke, what, Thursday? Maybe Wednesday, Thursday, one of the days of the week. And people lost their minds. And some, like, Guitar World and guitar.com and all the guitar publications online and a few YouTubers jumped on the story and were like, oh, Slash has left Marshall and he's only ever used Marshalls. First of all, that's not correct. Second of all, there was something not right about it, the story wise. And in fact, and by the way, thank you so much to all you guys who sent me. I got about 40 messages about Slash leaving Marshall, which is great because I know you guys are looking out for me to make sure I get the stories, and I love it. And thank you so much. But yeah, I got all these notifications, and I was like, something's not right here, and that's why I didn't make a video about it. There's two reasons I didn't make a video about it. I'm not an amp guy, so I have a Marshall code over there. I'm not an amp guy, and I don't know the ins and outs of amps, so it wasn't really going to make an amp video, but I am a big Slash fan, and you guys know that. I'm in fact probably the third most handsome Slash fan on YouTube, so if you were going to get Slash news, here's where you get it a lot of the time. And in fact, I've leaked guitar information about Slash Epiphones and so forth. So yeah, when the story hit, it was just weird. And I actually mentioned to Muddy H2O, what kind of world do we live in if Slash doesn't play a Marshall? Something to that effect, I said to him. And, then there was all speculation. What if he leaves Gibson? And obviously, there's only one choice if he leaves Gibson, and that is PRS. And I wouldn't rule that out at some point down the line. But no, Slash has not left Gibson, or Marshall, sorry. He hasn't left Gibson yet. He hasn't left them. He's just also working with Magneton. Now, some people have come out and said, oh, sorry, we jumped the gun there a little bit too much. Basically, what's happening is Slash has gone, I really like those amps. Can you make me some special ones? And he's taking them on the road with Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators next year, which I'm looking forward to because I got tickets for them when they come to Dublin. So I'm going to check those amps up close and personal. See if my friend Saul Hudson will let me jam on them a little bit. We'll see how that goes. But just for your information, because I've seen this everywhere this week. Slash hasn't played any other amps. Slash has exclusively played Marshall amps for 30 years. It's not true. Just a little rundown. So in Use Your Illusion, Slash actually obviously he uses Marshalls. In every record and tour, he's used his Marshalls, but he has also used. So Use Your Illusion, he used Mesa Boogies. I think he used Mark III. I think that's what they were called. Contraband with Velvet Revolver, and also his solo album, and a couple of other things as well. He used Vox AC30. So there you go. There's two different amps he's used within the last, like his solo album was 2010. Contraband with Velvet Revolver was 2004, 2005. I saw them in 2004, so it must have been 2004. And then later, Slash Miles Kennedy stuff. And the Conspirators, of course, he used all kinds of amps. He used Mesa Boogies. He used later ones. He used, was it Mark 4 or 5? I think maybe 5. And he used Orange 100s. I called OR 100s. And he used High Watt 100s as well. I don't know if there's another name on them. But he used all kinds of different amps. And those albums are like in the last 10 years. So the Slash exclusively used Marshalls for 30 years is bullshit, and it's just bad journalism by people who should have done more research. It actually takes very little time to find out that sort of stuff. So yeah, Slash hasn't left Marshall, but it's funny, and yeah, I don't know, something just didn't feel right about it. But anyway, no disrespect to anyone who did go and give the story out and put it out and quickly, because honestly, in the guitar community, you want to be out there first with stories, and sometimes you get a story and you go, shit, I got to make a video about this right now. And you drop everything, you make a video and you put it out on Patreon. And then the next day it comes out on YouTube. And then you have this kind of, I hope it all is true. I hope everything, because sometimes you're getting sources that you're like, I don't know if that's trustworthy. But so for me on YouTube, when I put out a story, 90% of the time I'm like, I know it's 100%. And then there's that 10% when I'm like, I think this is true. Or I'll be working on a story, working on a video, and I'll be like, I'm 90% sure this is the real deal. But I'll put it out, and then if it's completely wrong, I'll just get slated in the comments. I get slated in the comments anyway, so why not? I also get a lot of praise and compliments in the comments from a lot of you guys, so thank you for that. But the other side of it is every comment on every story, every video was they must have paid him more money than Marshall. The money talks, the mighty dollar. Lads, do you think Slash is short of a few quid? Do you think he doesn't have millions of dollars rolling into his bank account like every week, month, probably day? The dude is in like one of the biggest bands in the history of all time. Whether you're a Guns N' Roses fan or not, they're one of the biggest selling bands of all time. He's not short of money. He'll never be short of money. It didn't come down to money. And that's why at some point he probably will have a signature guitar with another guitar company. And I wouldn't put it past being a PRS. That's years down the road, I think. But I can see it happening at some point. But yeah, Slash didn't do any deals like that. He does deals obviously for money, but not because he has a value in his endorsements or sponsorships. But he's not going to ditch one company because the others want to give him more, if they're not going to give him what he wants in terms of the actual thing. And he's a great relationship with Marshall. Of course, Marshall was bought out. This is going on longer than I expected. Marshall was bought out earlier this year. And the rumor then started around this week saying, oh, Slash must be really unhappy with how the new management is running the company and stuff like that. And I don't think that's true at all. So anyway, me and my bestie Slash, I'm sure we'll have a chat about it at some point. But for now, you'll still see him, particularly with Guns N' Roses, with Marshall amps. Seems like Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators, when he's on tour with them, he's going to be using Magnetones, which is an interesting thing. Different sounds as well. So yeah, it'll be fun to see what they get up to. Yeah, Rob said, sorry, I should probably read a few comments before I went in there, on that big old 5-minute rant about it. It was quite funny though. Yeah, not exactly interesting and humorous story. Actually, a masterstroke of marketing from Magneton. Just put out that you're signing with us. Don't say anything about Marshall. Everybody was talking about it. So yeah, it's fun stuff there for Magneton. It worked perfectly for them. They got a lot of publicity this week. Glenn says Magneton are expensive amps, which is true. They are quite expensive, which is probably why. Slash rang them up and said, can I get a free one? And they said, yeah. Robert is here from Australia. Great to see you, Robert. Hope you're doing well, mate. And yeah, great to see you, as it always is. In fact, launch it to you on your Sunday morning. DMAC is saying, new gear today. Traded a bunch of stuff for Ventera 2 50s telly. So it was a wash price-wise. I can play baseball with it in a pinch, so I had to get it. Very cool, man. Yeah, 50s tellies are nice. So yeah, the Ventera 2 stuff is nice. Good stuff. I'm sure you got a good deal all around. Easy Richard says, I'm finally in the process of buying a Strat, but I'm not a fan either. It's just the slot I need to fill for Hendrix and a few other things. Yeah, and that's a thing where people feel, if I'm going to play Hendrix, I got to play him on a Strat. And I think that's pretty right. Stevie Ray and stuff like that as well. So a bit of Rory as well, most of the time. So yeah, I think you got to have a Strat at some point. I have one. I haven't taken it out of the case in months. But when I do, I always enjoy it. I just put it back in the case and don't play it for a long time. Scott Bogwood says, why did nobody ask for a statement from Slash before jumping on YouTube? The reason is, honestly, Scott, like, as YouTubers, we're a bit overzealous to put stories out there. I've been guilty of it in the past, for sure, putting out stories where I wasn't 100% on the source or that it was accurate, because you're trying to get out before everybody else so that you get a few more views and you'll get a few more subscribers and stuff like that. So if you're running a kind of news channel, you're like, there's a definitive thing here. Because of that, I'm going to assume everything else but when you start assuming it, you don't know it's what the story is. And you can imagine if Slash was leaving Marshall, he would have made a comment about it somewhere down the line, or Marshall would have said it. So yeah, or they would have said in the Magneton thing, the exclusive artist relationship. But I can understand why people jumped on it. I don't know. I just felt like it wasn't video worthy for my channel. So, because I'm not the amp guy. So yeah, that's all. But I can completely understand why people did. What I'd have more of an issue with people like the professional guitar journalists, the people like guitar.com and Guitar World and guitarplayer.com and all those kind of places that were having the same story. They basically pushed it out before anyone, and it was their fault that people took it and ran with it. So yeah, I'll get into more about other things that YouTubers do in a few minutes. The best thing about my Strat is the color combination. Bothers Ret Shull, seafoam green, white pickguard, black pickup covers and knobs. That bothers Ret. Well, hey, good. I mean, it's good to ruffle some feathers. It doesn't sound too bad to me. I mean, it sounds all right, so I'm on board. Jess is here. Great to see you, Jess. Hope you're well. It says, hey Dave, excited for the big 100. Nervous for the big 100. I don't know why. I've done 99 of these shows now, and most of them have gone well. But yeah, honestly, the 100 show, I never thought I'd get to 100. So it means a lot to still be doing live streams every week, 100 shows later, or 99 shows later. But am I excited? Yeah, excited and nervous and scared. And yeah, I don't know. Next Saturday, I will probably be full of nervous energy, I would imagine, for most of the day. I think it's an achievement, you know. You should get a little one of those YouTube plaques to hang on your background that says, I did 100 live streams on YouTube once a week. You should just get that for however many subscribers I have right now, 7,000 and something. Did you send me a plaque, YouTube? God damn it. But thanks, Jess. I appreciate that. Steve Cassidy Guitar says, my first electric guitar was a half-size Artist Hot Pink Explorer for reals. And that sounds very cool. That sounds very cool. Yeah, lots of people start out with stuff like that, which is great. Very, very cool. I hope you still have it, and we get to see it. That's all I'm going to say on that. Scott says, people are given Gibson as first guitars, yuppie parents with spoiled kids. Is it? I mean, you know, are people... I used to know when I grew up in my teenage years, I did have a friend who was given a Volkswagen for their 18th birthday and was all upset because it wasn't a BMW. I genuinely knew one of those people. I actually knew about 30 of those people. I was the poor kid in the like rich people hangout. Like a lot of my friends when I was of that age group, they went to private schools that cost thousands per year, and I went to public school, and that didn't cost thousands per year. So, so yeah, that is that story. Wait a minute, another super chat. When did that come in? Thank you, Sir Muddy H2O. For your super chat. I think it just dropped just there. Thank you so much. But yeah, I knew somebody, maybe they get Gibsons, but they're very, I don't know. I think Epiphone, Fender, Squires are the best startup guitars, I think. Let me see. So Muddy H2O says, so you're saying you were able to cancel your Magneton order before they shipped it? No, sir, I did not. I did not complete my order. I rang my friend Saul first to see if he'd actually exclusively signed with them, because I got my Marshall amp, you know, I'm basically Slash's understudy, so you know, it's just that as long as I wear his hat, I can play exactly the same as him. That's how it works. If you wear Slash's hat, you are Slash for that night. It's one of those things. Ryan says, yeah, the modern light looks cool, might get one. That'd be cool, Ryan. Yeah, if you get one, let us know what color you get. As I said, the thing is, I've seen some people say that they don't know how long these are going to be around. These are basically the new entry-level Gibsons. So they're sticking around. You've got time. You don't need to rush. But, yeah, they're kind of interesting. And it shows that Gibson listened to this show, because I've said a lot of times on the show that what they need to do is make a Les Paul similar in size to an SG, because SGs are better than everything else. And they've listened and made an SG type Les Paul, like size and everything is, and weight is similar to an SG. So I'm excited to get to play one. It'll be in the new year though before I get my hands on one, I'd say. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Uh, just thinking it might be later than that, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Um, you never know. Catch up with my comments here again, guys. Oh Jesus, that was ages ago. Okay, cool. What else? I think 11 o'clock we'll go into the whole YouTube stuff and some other things that we need to talk about on the show. By the way, something while I'm catching up on my comments here, because they did just dump in a whole lot on top of me. If you have any ideas for the 100 show, things you'd like to talk about, things you would like to see on the show, you can leave a comment in tonight's show, or you can email me on the email address, which is at the bottom of the description of all the videos. And the other option you have is join our Facebook group. There's been some interesting comments and so forth on the Facebook group this week, and you can also check out what people are working on guitar wise and how cool these people are, which is very cool. So join the Facebook group if you're on Facebook. If you're not on Facebook, you can't. So just wait and talk to us on videos and stuff like that. T says the Epiphone version of the Modern Light will probably be a grand. You never know. You never know, sir. They do a great Les Paul for like, what are they now? There's the standards, the Epiphones, like 550 or something. Those are still very good guitars as well. If you want to put Gibson pickups in them, the only thing you're missing really is the nitro finish, and you can save up. That's what Cesar would tell you. If you can't afford a Gibson, just buy an Epiphone. They're the same thing, which of course they're not, because Slash and Bonamassa and whoever else don't go out on stage with their Epiphone signature models, pretty much. They should. They really should, marketing wise. But hey, DMAX says I was in a guitar store and they had Kitty Taylor acoustics. Hook 'em early. You should get them in early. Yeah. I remember when my brother was a kid, he had a little tiny plastic electric guitar, and you could play it, you could tune it up and play it. It was pretty interesting thing. He thought he was playing guitar, and I think that did get him into playing guitar a little bit later in years. Ben Hallmark says the Volcano Bong changed my life. There you go. Life-changing volcanoes all around. Volcano Girls is a good tune, says DMAC. I'm losing my voice apparently. Ryan says, or maybe Harvey Weinstein would have met you first. Yeah. I don't know. That would be a fun, weird story to tell. I interviewed the best-selling author and screenwriter Owen Colfer, who's from Wexford, where I live, at a film festival once, and he was talking about times when he had interactions with Harvey Weinstein, who'd like bought the rights to his film, and he was like, the guy was batshit crazy. Like, he'd call you up at 4 o'clock in the morning and just say McDonald's and wait for you to respond, and he would say okay, and he'd say great and hang up the phone. And I was like, that was Harvey Weinstein. So I mean, obviously he was doing worse shit to people in the middle of the night, but yeah, that was the story that Owen would tell about him. Very interesting dude, Owen Colfer, not the Harvey Weinstein. Anyways, Ryan Byrne, Rob F says, Ryan Byrne, I watched the Andertons custom shop video this morning. Very dangerous. Fortunately, 2024 is Ampere for me. Ampere's, I might do that at some point. It won't be next year. Kind of catch up on a couple of guitar things next year. Jess says, just think if you'd got married to Scarlett, there'd have been no Chord Dave live. Very possibly. Yeah. Because actually the girl I met a couple of years later, who I then had a very long relationship with until last year or so. I don't know what year it is, by the way, right now. My head's all messed up. But she like encouraged me to do the YouTube channel. She was like, you should just make YouTube videos. You're so passionate about the guitar stuff. Why don't you just do it? And I was like, I guess I could. And then we spent a week coming up with the name. I was like, what do I call myself? Jammin' Dave. I think that actually was one of the considered names. And what else? What else did I nearly call myself? So there was Jammin' Dave. Guitar Dave, I think, was one of them. I don't know. And then one morning woke up with like, I'm just going to be three chord Dave. That's it. As if it came to me in a dream or something. I don't know. But yeah, so it's her fault that three chord Dave exists. And yeah, I don't know. Scarlett might not have come up with that. So there, pluses and minuses. You know, I would have been married to like a very wealthy, famous movie star, and all the joys of that. But I wouldn't be three chord Dave. So yeah, I guess like my name wouldn't be on a T-shirt. So that I made myself. But okay, yes, yeah, I can get your point, Jess. Thanks for that one, for letting me see the silver lining to that cloud. Uh, oh, Scarlett, if you're watching, Scarlett, I'm sorry about that volcano. It ruined our lives. Anyway, um, Matt Van Bosch says, DMAC, good choice. The new Ventera 2 Telly looks great. They do look pretty cool. Tellys are I like Tellys a lot, so I should get more into Tellys. A little bit. Maybe I will someday. DMAX, a serious note, volcanic ash in air will knock out jet engines, turns to a kind of goo when sucked into the engines. There's one of those Mayday shows on it happening. So no crash, so all good. Wow, that's interesting, DMAC. Yeah. I guess I can accept there were safety concerns, and that's why I didn't get to go to the actual world premiere, because they ended up having it, instead of having it in London, they had it in LA. So they didn't even fly me out there. They made me go to Dublin. They did drive me in one of those, in a fancy car from the movie. It was like a 5-minute drive. So, anyway, Ryan says, same here, Rob. I have 3 amps on the list for next year, but I'm sure a few guitars will find their way home. That's the way to look at it. You never know. Something will just hit you and you'll be like, there you go. I got to do it. Rob says, my wish list will take up 110% of my allowance. Ain't that the truth, bro? That is what happens. Yeah. Badfink 2 is here. Great to see you, sir. Hope you are well. Says, greetings, fellow Chiropters family. It's always great to see you, Badfink. Hope everything's good with you, man. The very intriguing Muddy H2O is also throwing in emojis, which we do love. Who else have we got? What else is going on? Ryan says, that's how it is here too, as long as it makes you happy. Exactly, for sure. Badfink says, Mr. Bugfoot, the super cool guitar collection. He does have not only does he have a cool guitar collection, he has a cool story for each guitar. My favorite, of course, being the Billy Gibbons guitar. You should all check that out. Scott's videos are very fun and interesting, and you learn about his guitar collection and so much more. So you should check it out, like when you're not watching my videos, obviously. Rob says, Badfink, every time I see your YouTube name makes me happy smile. My dad called me Badfink when I was little. Back when the Batman TV show was still on network TV. There you go. Good stuff. Yeah, Badfink's one of our OG members. He's been here a long time. Maybe back to even live episode 100 or 100 hasn't happened yet. Back to episode, you were very early, I think. I remember that. Scott Brower says, hello all. Great to see you, Scott. Hope you're well, my friend. Let me see, where else are we now? Rob F. Well, cheers for the memories. Spelled it with Fink, because some of those letters are my real name. Oh, don't want to dox you, man. Badfink says, don't you have cellars over there? Not really. Like posh people, like really rich people will have them, I suppose. But the average house doesn't have basements. No. T is here. He'll correct me if I'm wrong, but I've never been in a house that has a basement except for super rich people houses. And I wasn't really allowed in those houses except for in the basement. So Matt Van Bosch says, Jason Momoa must have dropped some serious cash in that D28. I knew it was a D something. Yeah, I think he did. He's a rich dude, he's Aquaman. Got all the ocean money. Benny Larson is here. Great to see you, Benny. Hope all's good with you, my friend. Dewey7330 says, I'm hoping the Marshall DSL 40CR is on sale on Black Friday. You never know, man. You never know. There will be deals for sure. There always is. Batwing 2 says, Black Friday over here in North America becomes scrap night, especially in Wally Mart. Makes you shake your head. I know, for years I lived for for those videos the day after Black Friday. I'm pretty sure people went to like Walmarts and Best Buys and all that just to film people like beating the crap out of each other for a set of towels or whatever, or 24 pack of batteries for 99 cents, whatever it was. Um, or like a TV for 50 bucks off. I don't know, but it always seemed crazy. And Black Friday was not a thing over here until very recently. And yeah, sooner or later, very soon after they introduced Black Friday as an actual thing here, they decided, fuck it, we'll just do Black Friday month. So they took away any magic from it of beating people up for your TV. Anyways, there you go. Rob F says, what amazes me about Black Friday is the people that camp out all night for the stores to open. I did it for The Who when I was a teen, never for a store sale. Yeah, man, used to hanging outside a store waiting to buy tickets for a concert was one of the best things ever. I had some great nights doing that. People singing along who'd never met each other, with each other, having a great time. Yeah, lots of great nights had doing that when I was a teenager, and in my early 20s, I guess. And now I guess kids, they don't have that because I know, I think kids, if they go outside now, you know, they're just not happy or something. I don't know. We spend all our time outside, but yeah, that's a great one. You two were playing Slane in 2001, and I queued up all night to get tickets, and I was the next person in the door when they sold out. So I was pissed off about that. But then like a week later, maybe not even a week later, my friend called me and was like, get down to the store. They've got more tickets. They're doing a second day. And nobody knew about it. They just announced it on one radio channel. And I got in. The shop was about 30 minutes away. Got in, up to the counter. I was like, can I get a Slane ticket for you two? And they're like, yep. And like several people in the shop were like, what did he just say? It was a fun time buying tickets in shops. Loved it. Anyways, Ben Allmark says 1968 Fender Bassman 50 watt amp head popped on the L&M page this week. I put a deposit on it. Problem is I have no cabs. Will monitors work? I don't know, man, but it sounds like a cool amp head. Bad Thing says, Rob, I did that sort of for Long and McQuaid's sale in Woodbridge years back, and the queuing up outside. If there was something I really wanted, I would do for sure. Let me see. Glenn Bailey says, I like Pelham Blue Friday, my new YouTube name. Hey, if you ever get banned from the channel and I see Pelham Blue Friday, I'll know who you are. I won't ban that name, I promise. Mavin Bosch says, DMAC, did you go for a blonde or sunburst finish? Nothing better than a 50s style telly. And they're pretty cool. All right. Sylvian Pententer says, hey, 3Chord, any collabs with guitaristas happening? I'd love to. I've been meaning to reach out to Colin to do one. We have a mutual respect kind of thing going on. I think mutual, I suppose we're respecting. We have a friendship on YouTube a little bit. So yeah, I'd love to do something with Colin. Just getting time to do something like that. But he's definitely number one on the list to do something like that. And it's a great suggestion. So thank you so much for that. I will one of these days get around to reaching out to Colin about it. But I think you can look out for that in the future. I think it will happen. He's one of the coolest YouTubers, by the way. Not just guitar YouTubers. Guitaristas is one of my absolute favorite channels. Watch them, his videos every week. And you should definitely, what you should do is join his VHX channel, TV channel, because he's got some cool plans from what we heard a couple of weeks ago. And they would be good for everybody. It would be good for the content creators, and it'd be good for the content watchers, because it'll lead to some great stuff. So yeah, check out that video from a couple of weeks ago where he gave his studio tour and everything. Really cool stuff. His studio tour is very cool as well, by the way. Let me see, what time? We're nearly at 11 o'clock, and that's when I'll start talking about the YouTubes. Let me see what we've got. There's a Baggins who says, hey Dave, did you hear Joe Bonamassa has another signature epi? I did. And I'm going to give you an exclusive leak right now before I start talking about leaks. Is what I'm going to talk about. Exclusive leak on the 3Chord Dave live number 99. Joe Bonamassa, in fact, is going to have an Epiphone signature guitar next year as well. There you go. That's the news. You can take it. Tell everybody, tell your friends, tell your neighbors. Joe Bonamassa, new Epiphone next year. What will that be? I don't know yet, but he's definitely getting one. Definitely a new signature next year. I guarantee it. And if it doesn't happen, you can come back to this video and leave me a negative comment. I promise. You can do a thumbs down, all that sort of stuff. But I guarantee it's going to happen. You wait and see. Probably won't now. Money Joe, that's good to know because I can take care for the most impatient typist. That's my problem. I'm a very impatient typist. That's why I speak on this instead of type. DMAX says, I went with Sunburst. I played both different stores, but preferred the Sunburst. Very cool. Nothing wrong with a Sunburst telly. Not at all. Ben says, Rob, you might find this question stupid, but honestly didn't know what an AB165 is. What is it? Good question. I don't know either. Richard says, that's too funny. TTK thumbnail said Slash got fired. Yeah. It's hard to believe I can spell. Says Batpink. Absolutely. You know, I've worked with amateur writers, like who want to be professional writers. And let me tell you, once you do that, you can learn to decipher anything that people are typing and writing. You can figure it out. You just can't. Most people who try to get into that gig are useless. So there you go. And honestly, most of the worst people decide, I'm never going to make it. I'll just become a consultant teaching other people how to make it, despite having never made it. It's kind of like YouTubers who never made it as guitar players. Anyways, Glenn Bailey says, found out today that the music store I got my guitar body build from Melody Music is closing. That branch been there since 1971. Instagram said show up this morning for prices you won't believe. Glenn, it's sad when music shops are closing. Yeah, it is. And I know I'm guilty of this. Like people are just buying more and more online. So more and more stores are just going to close down because of it. It's the way it is. You know, people like me, I don't live near a decent guitar store. If I did, I would go to one more often, but and buy from there rather than online. But yeah, it's sad when stores close. Hopefully, if you did go, you got some good deals. Scott says bad pseudo journalism. I mean, it's really bad it's bad from the professional organizations, places like guitar.com and stuff that, you know, I'm not saying they're perfect, but a lot of people go there for their guitar news. If you're interested, it's where a lot of people start off trying to get interested in the guitar community online and so forth. So they need to be more careful. Let me see. Richard says, Muddy H2O, you ever play the 2007 custom shop design Strats with the Abbey pups? Abara pups are any good? So let's see if he has. He probably has. He's played everything. Larry DeFox says Phil McKnight was talking about Slash deal on his podcast. Yeah, I haven't listened to it. I don't listen to an awful lot of podcasts. I watch Phil's videos maybe once every couple of weeks. I'm not an avid viewer. Like I never miss Guitarista's video, and there's a couple other YouTubers that are not guitar related, so I won't mention them on this. But there's only like literally 3 or 4 that I watch religiously, and then the rest I catch up on from time to time. So there we go. Are the amps Marshall clone thing looked very inspired on the outside? I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't think any details come out yet, but I would say they're not a million miles away. But yeah, I mean the Slash Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators thing is different to Guns N' Roses. It's different to Velvet Revolver. They don't play any Guns N' Roses tunes, or they haven't the last couple of times I've seen them. They don't play Guns N' Roses tunes anymore, or Velvet Revolver tunes. So probably they're just trying to strike out that different sound on the road. So we'll see. It'll be interesting. March is when my tickets are for, so we gotta wait 5 months, and then we'll see how it is. Rob F says, Larry D. Fox KDH put out a video last night and retracted it today with a new video after Slash put out a statement. Yeah, Slash had to put out a statement. That's true. And it was, yeah, I mean, he was basically saying, I'm not leaving. I'm not working with Marshall. I'm just also working with this other company. I don't know if Slash actually has exclusive deals with the people in the businesses he works with. I mean, he's a genuine bona fide rock icon, rock god. He could command any kind of deal with any company that he wants. But so it would surprise me if he's like, I'm going to exclusively sign with this company. I think Gibson would be his biggest contract, so probably with them it's like maybe exclusive. I think everyone else he's probably got. I can do whatever the hell I want, especially with stuff like guitars and amps. You just might have a different feel. You might want to play a different instrument, a different. He might want to play a telly on something or a Strat on something, which he's done in the past, of course. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's possible. It's possible he will change other companies. Maybe he's just got into that mode or that mindset now where he's like, I can do whatever I want. I like these amps to see if I can do a deal with them. Anyways, Batfink says, or sorry, where am I? Yeah, Batfink says, Rob F, yes, great memories when we were all fit and optimistic. Anything seemed possible, and then we grew up. I mean, growing up is the worst, man. But yeah, Muddy H2O says, I've owned several custom shop Strats with Abbey pickups. They are great pickups, but in my opinion, a lot of it is marketing more than anything. He's turned to the dark side now. He likes 335s better. Glenn Bailey says, yeah, Rob, I always liked stopping into that store whenever I was in the Stirling area. Batfink says, I think Slash plays through a Valaton GP 1PP amp modeler. I heard that too. I heard that on the down low. We're supposed to keep it secret though. We're not supposed to leak out that. Ben said, Dave, when you said Slash used Mark 4s or Mark 5s, are those Mesa Boogies you're referring to? Yes. Yeah, he did. Use Your Illusion. It was a Mark 3, I believe, on both of those albums on different songs. He used a Mark 4 in like Slash Miles Kennedy stuff from, or Mark 5 from World on Fire, which is 2014, I think. It's either 2013 or 2013 maybe. World on Fire, anyway, that's the album. Since then, he's used Mesa Boogies a little bit more. Pretty sure maybe on the last album as well, the last Miles Kennedy and Conspirators album. I think that one was it called 4? I don't pay attention to album names anymore. But yeah, Mesa Boogies on those. Because, of course, Gibson's trying to bring them back as well. So you never know. So you might see Mesa Boogie amps come out. Who knows? Batfink says, well, Rob, well, me too, especially in most times it's called shock value. And let me see. Magneton amps are cool. Though for the money, I would rather get a vintage amp and have somebody like Lyle from Psionic Audio rebuild it. I mean, that's an option for the money. I honestly couldn't tell you how much a Magneton amp costs. I have no clue. But I know they're on the pricier side of things. And I think they just offered to make him an amp that he wants. Don't see Marshall doing that anytime soon. I think Marshall might get scared by this deal actually because, well, first of all, he hasn't left Marshall. So he probably told them in advance, hey, I'm going to start working with Magneton on a signature amp. And they would have gone, oh crap, what's happening? Like, are you leaving us? They probably had the same reaction as everybody else. And he said, no, I just want to work on them for this amp. I tried one of their amps, it was really cool. And then I would imagine what happened is Slash left the call or the building or whatever, and their management company or management in that company said, holy shit, I think we should up our game a little bit. Slash is experimenting with other companies. You know, it's like when you tell your girlfriend, hey, I'm just going out with this other girl for a couple of weeks just to see if I like it. And like, we're still cool, but I'm just checking her out. She's going to up her game and be like, all right, I'll be better. I think that's how it works, right? Totally getting cancelled for that comment. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Muddy H.O. with another super chat because he's super kind and super generous, and we love him around here. Says, rumor has it Slash is leaving Capital One and going to American Express. What a crazy world we live in. And sir, that is an unsolicited leak. How dare you confirm that information? That is, you shouldn't be leaking that information. And I want to talk to you about leaks for a minute because There's a couple of things we need to talk about. So, yeah, was it last week? Yeah, last week. Somebody got their hands on a Epiphone Greenie, and it was a whirlwind. Okay, so I made a video about it, and it's one of my best performing videos on my channel this year. It's actually in my top 10 performing videos of all time on my channel currently, and yeah, it's done really well. So that video would be considered a leak video. I've made a lot of leak videos because I find out a lot of information about guitars, because I ask people and I bug people, and I have people who will give me information early. Pals, I should say. So yeah, somebody got the Epiphone Greenie. There's a lot of information leaked. I actually, and again, not to call him out too much, but Muddy H2O and I got this picture of the Greenie in a store. Somebody sent it to me, and I said, hey, someone is telling me this is the Epiphone Greenie. And I sent it to him, and he was like, maybe. So, and that's exactly how I was thinking. I was like, I'm not sure this is the real thing. It didn't look right. I was like, I don't think it is, but it has Gibson style headstock, so maybe it's a thing. I wasn't sure. And about an hour later, I started to get like so many people, every one of my guitar people, tipsters, I shall call them, started sending me these images and saying, this dude was able to buy one, all the information, he's put all the specs up, he's got everything here, check it out. So then the dude went on and made a video himself. I made a video that night, or no, I didn't. I actually, because I still wasn't sure. So I was like, I'm going to sleep on it. Made the video the next day, put it on Patreon, put it on YouTube the following day. So 2 days later, it was on YouTube. In the meantime, the guy himself who'd bought the guitar put up a video playing it, showing it and explaining what happened. Basically, he went into a guitar store. It was on a hook. He took it down, he took it to the counter, and he bought it. They would have sold it to anybody who walked into that store. And he made the video, got like a 15 minutes of fame in the guitar world, which is, trust me, it's weary. It wears you down. It's weird. People attacked him. People were like, you shouldn't be posting this. It's not fair. And it just spilled into our group as well. There was a chat about whether it was morally right to make that video about the guitar. And what I wanted to say is, that's what this channel is all about. I leak guitar information, particularly Epiphone information, all the time. My feeling on it is, if the guitar companies didn't want the information out there, they would stop it getting out. It's that simple. They would tie down everybody and be like, you're not, the information doesn't get out or everybody gets fired. It's a thing. It helps them with their marketing. It helps them kind of get customer feedback early, so they might have to change stuff. But also stuff like this, right? This was an accident. Somebody put it for sale when they shouldn't have. A small business probably needed a sale. They made a sale. That's what I would say. In terms of our leaks, the right thing to do. I mean, we live in a free world, right? We have the freedom to give out information that we have. Unless you sign a non-disclosure agreement, you're free to say whatever you want. So that's why me and a lot of other people on YouTube had made videos about that guy's guitar before he put out his own video. He was pressured into taking that video down, I believe, whether that was from Gibson or just so many negative comments. I don't think that was right. I would never take a video down because of people telling me to take it down. I would never leak information and then have a company reach out to me and say, take it down. If I've got information that I can share with the community and I think it's valuable, I will put it out there. So yeah, the truth is, if I walked into a guitar shop last week and I bought an Epiphone Greenie, I would have made a video with it. And I think that's what you guys are here for. A lot of the news that I break is leaks and information that's not out in the world yet. So just bear in mind, it's what we do. And it's what's made the channel somewhat popular. And I'm not going to stop doing it. I'm not going to stop putting out leaks. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy pissing off Gibson. I think it's funny. I'm hoping they'll send me a cease and desist letter someday. If they had my address, they probably would. Yeah, I feel like it's okay to do. If you ever buy a guitar though, and it's like 3 weeks, 4 weeks before the street date, and you don't want to make a video yourself, send me the information. I'll do it for you. I'm happy to do it. I think it needs to be done the right way, and so that it gets out to a lot of people. Epiphone / Gibson are not losing money over leaks. Let me tell you, if their product is good, they get people amped up to buy them. Like the Adam Jones guitars, people who wanted those were amped up to buy them when they were coming out. The Slash Epiphones, they made a mistake when they came out. I was the channel that leaked all the information about them, if you remember. And I mean, I remind you all the time, but people made buying decisions to buy other guitars because of that video that I put out with all the information early, because they're like, okay, if that's the specs, I'm going to buy something else. And I feel like those have been valuable videos to people as well. A lot of people as well have said stuff like, because of your videos, I knew that guitar was coming. I didn't buy something else, so I got one of those guitars. That's happened a lot on my videos. You can check out any of the leak videos that I've done. So leaks have a value. They help people get guitars they want. They help people decide to move on from guitars that they think they want until they actually see the specs and so forth. With this greenie, people are still very excited about buying it, and it's going to sell out no matter what. So, is it next week or the week after they're coming out? Yeah, Jared James Nichols one is coming out this week, and then the greenie the following week. They're going to sell out. You watch. And Epiphone, Gibson, they're going to make a lot of money off them. So leaks are here to stay, and there's nothing wrong with doing leaks. And if you ever buy a guitar, make a video or tell me to make it and send me all the info. Emails in the description below. And if you disagree, that's completely fine. But just bear in mind, that is what the channel is built on. So there you go. Rob says, I don't think Slash did the signature with Magneton for money. I think they simply built the amp he wished to have. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think pretty much what he's come out and said now is that he played one of the amps, it was killer, and he wanted to work on them just to do a certain thing, and they were like, yeah, your Slash will do it for you. So that's it. Scott says, I want to see some huge name in guitar world start to a project to bring back Parker guitars. Hey man, you never know. You never know. Pretty much at this stage, it's just about buying the naming rights, and you could do that. It probably wouldn't be prohibitively expensive for most businesses. I don't even know who you'd go to, but it's probably not that difficult to do. Baffing says, I think most humans can be bought if one looks at the world, but not this one. Not this human. Yeah, I mean, I can be bought. I know you're referencing yourself. I can absolutely be bought. You want me to say Muddy H2O on my t-shirt? I should probably do that with the amount of super chats Muddy H2O has done in the lifetime of this channel anyway. So look out for episode 100 surprises. That's not going to be one of them, by the way. Benny Larson says, Kirk Hammett is also releasing guitars with ESP and Gibson simultaneously. It's just the same thing Slash is doing. And I hope it becomes a new normal. Why wouldn't you be able to play different gear? Exactly, Benny. It's a great point. Kirk Hammett, ESP and Gibson deal, pretty much exactly the same. And yeah, and like this book that Gibson put out this year, whenever they put it out, it features other guitars that are not Gibsons or Epiphones that Slash owns. It has Fenders, it has Gretches, it has BC Riches, all kinds. And Slash is famous for playing a BC Rich as much as he is a Les Paul, probably. So yeah, absolutely, it makes sense. Let me see. Muddy says, Richard Clark, a lot of it is the regular custom shop pickups can very much be just as good or better as well. Some of Fender's standard pickup sets there. I did not see that coming. Let's see. When the artist is that big, nobody loses. That's true, Scott. 100%. Rob says to Glenn, sadly, I don't think Marshall has made Marshall amps for many years. Worse yet, I do not expect the new owners to change that. As not an amp guy, I'm not really qualified at all to talk about amps, but yeah, I will say with the new Marshall ownership, I think this might actually be a kick up the arse that makes them improve a little bit. Because Slash isn't going to walk away from Marshall, but the fact that he's now getting all this attention for playing with another amp might spark them to be like, and that's what I think will happen or has happened, and I think they're going to be like, oh, there's going to be a new Slash Marshall signature, and it's going to be like the best amp we've made in 20 years. Wouldn't surprise me. And they'd have to, of course, get slashing his text and stuff into to work and make sure it's what it is. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. But I 100% understand where you're coming from on that, Rob, to be honest. Batfing says, I often wonder how AI will affect what's left of the rock scene. It'll probably bring back dead artists a lot. You know, when time has gone on enough and people's, say their great grandsons or whatever are in charge of their estates and they just want to make more money. In that case, then, yeah, they'll be brought back to, they'll be able to make new Zeppelin records because a computer will pump one out and be like, this is like Zeppelin. There's actually a really funny YouTube channel that does AI versions of song or new songs by AI in the style of a band. And some really funny AC/DC ones. There's one called Great Balls, I think. It's hilarious. I should check it out. Yeah, I can't remember the channel's name, but look up AI AC/DC Great Balls. It's very funny. Don't do it now. Do it later when the show is over. Scott says, when it comes to strats, in my opinion, you have to play it before you buy it. I have two, and they are night and day. And Batfink totally agrees. So there you go. Yeah, I would agree with you as well, to be honest. Glenn says, I agree, Scott. It took me many years to find a black Strat that I liked. Normally, black is enough of a reason for me to buy a guitar. But Strats, they are different. You know, we got to talk about that at some point. Batfink says, hey, Dave, maybe you can get Slash to sit in as a guest for episode 100. You know, I asked him and he said he's busy. So, yeah, I don't know. Let's see. That would be super funny if I could actually get Slash to intro the show next week. That'd be the greatest thing of all time. I bought my first Strat because it matched my telly. Nothing wrong with that, Scott. There you go. Lots of people have done that, I'm sure. Baffing says, if all else fails, you can bring the Slash doll. Oh shit, you have that in the back there. You're all set. There you go. Yeah, you got the old Funko Pop Slash. He can present the show. Why not? You do a better job. Corey's here. Great to see you. Corey says, hope everyone has been having a great week. Don't forget to hit all those buttons for Dave. Yeah, and indeed, hit all the buttons, like and all that sort of stuff, and subscribe and all that. It's important. Rob F says to Scott, I've modded the heck out of mine, Squire Affinity. Had it plecked, added a Graphtec nut, saddles and tuners, Dylan Talks Tone SSS, loaded pickup, pickguard, sorry, Alnico 5 Bonneville pickups, Born Pots. Very interesting indeed. There we go. And Batwing says, my first Strat, in fact, electric, was in the late 80s, a Fender Bullet Strat, and it buzzed nearly as loud as the string sound. Well, there you go. You know, that was the sound of the times in certain places. D-Max says the Marshall DSL 40 is a really great really good rock and roll amp. It's got Lyle from Psionics approval, so it must be doing something right. Yeah, absolutely. Daniel Tilleru says a Squire cost more than a Mexican Strat used to. They can, yeah, absolutely. There's some now hitting the $500 mark, all right, for sure. But what I will say is, because I have one of those more expensive Squires, the Telecaster for the 40th anniversary edition. Beautiful guitar, plays beautifully, absolutely fantastic. So yeah, is it worth it? I think it is. But yeah, it's definitely they're more expensive than they used to be, the Squires. Still cheaper than an Epiphone. Of course, Epiphone don't make tellies, so not yet. Formerly known as T says, bit behind, but do you work for Gibson? I do not. No. That would be funny if all this time I worked for Gibson and I was leaking the stuff. I don't work in the guitar business other than in the YouTube space. Just in case anyone's trying to get anyone in trouble. I don't work for any company in the music or guitar space at all. I don't work for a music retailer. None whatsoever. No, I work in a tech space for now. Matt from Bosch says, Squires are great guitars. Love my Esquire Telly. Yes, Matt. Squires are great guitars, and Esquire Tellys are pretty cool. I like that. Ben Allmark says, not a thing wrong with Squires. After all, they are a Fender product. Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, what are the Squires I've had? I've had a few down the years. Yeah, yeah. The last couple have been really good. So the 40th anniversary one is really good, and I enjoy it. And it does stay. It's still by my desk every time. I haven't swapped it out yet for any of my other guitars. Maybe I'll put my Strat there for a while. It hasn't been out of its case for a long time now at this stage. Um, so let's see. You're gonna laugh. My younger brother is the real guitarist in this family. His first amp was a Sears 5 watt special, and it sounded wicked because my friend made him a distortion pedal. That's cool, Badfink. Yeah, absolutely. Nothing to laugh about there. It sounds really cool. Um, Glenn says, why do the new modern Les Pauls not have any modern features like coil split pickups? Well, because the Les Paul Modern Light, I don't know why they call them moderns. I think that because they were bringing them out on the same day, but yeah, they don't have any of those modern features, but they have maybe the belly cut is like a modern feature. I don't know. But I think it's a good move. I think it's a good model to have in the collection. Basically, yeah, it's every they've stripped down everything. Even the pickups in it, like the 490s, are, you know, nothing wrong with them, but they're definitely Gibson's budget. That's Gibson's budget pickup, lowest price pickup. Nothing wrong with them at all, but also it's weird that they're both the same. It's not a 490 and a 498, which some people are saying. It's two 490s, which I thought is strange. But there you go. They yeah, adding the modern name confuses people. They should have just called it the Les Paul Light, and I think maybe putting the modern name on it ties it to the modern Les Paul Moderns, which are cool and have those modern electronic features. But yeah, it's a great point. We should ask Cesar if he comes on the show for episode 100. Come on, Cesar, it's about time. Daniel Tillery says, what about dress up as a monkey and sing a Bloodhound Gang song? I'll consider it. I will consider it, I promise, for about 5 minutes. Baffing says, Rob, for sure those P90s helped because I think I would have wired better pickups than were in my Bullet Strat. There you go. Corey says, I'm seeing some Strat talk here. Strats are my preferred platform, although I get why some don't like them. Great guitars for modding with different pickup arrangements. Indeed, look, I have nothing against Strats. I just personally navigate away from them. I don't know why. As I said, I have one and I enjoy playing it when I do. I just yeah, I don't know. It's like my least favorite of my guitars. Nothing wrong with them. And as you say, they're great platforms. You can change swap stuff out on them easily. You can work on them easily. Yeah, they're pretty cool guitars. I imagine in 1954 when they were coming out first, people were like, "What the hell is this thing?" This is cool. But yeah, it would have blown people away considering what had been out before. Baving says, we went into a studio and recording engineer couldn't believe it had Sears drums. I had Sears drums. There you go. I sound engineers, recording engineers. My brother trained to be one of those when he went to college, and yeah, that's all I'll say about that. They're like snotty people. The humbuckers are replaced. The humbuckers they replaced were very mediocre at best. That said, the neck and fretboard of that guitar are incredible. Good stuff. Good stuff. Marcia says, I'm still here. My neighbor upstairs is nuts. Oh my God. Well, glad. I mean, look, who doesn't have a crazy neighbor? If you don't have a crazy neighbor, you don't have neighbors, I think is my feeling on it. Or maybe you're the crazy neighbor. Who knows? Where are we? Just lost a load of comments again. Just dumped in on top of me. There. Oh, no. All right, there we go. Wow, I'm really far behind. That's still haven't caught up there. There's Rock and Rob I see is in one of the comments. It's a bit away here still. Oh man. Oh, here. No, still not there. You're probably gonna. Oh God. Okay, cool. Okay, I know where I am now. Okay, thanks for sticking with me. I caught up. Aren't most upstairs neighbors batshit crazy? Yes, I used to be one of those. I lived on the top floor. I was the nice one, I think. It was the nice one for the entire neighborhood. Daniel Tiller says, love P90s, Corey. They have certain sound that can't be duplicated. I think P90s are the best. Personally, there you go. Jess says, I can't imagine you as anything other than Three Chord Dave. I wouldn't be tuning into Jammin' Dave. I don't think anyone would have watched Jammin' Dave. Yeah, or Guitar Dave. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. I had like a list of like 20 names, and I was like, oh, what am I going to pick? What name? What's going to be my YouTube name? And it was kind of more an excuse to not do videos because I was like, I don't have a name yet. I don't have my YouTube name. And the name I really wanted to pick was Trogley's Guitar Show, but some jerk had already picked that name. But you know, hey, there you go. No, not. I'm just kidding. I didn't. Daniel Tiller says, thinking about putting P90 sized Hummer in my PRS. Very cool indeed. Very cool. Mar says, so did I miss anything important or good while I had TCD on mute in my pocket? I don't know how much. Don't know how much you missed, but maybe. Glenn says, Guitar Dave just doesn't have that punch like Three Chord Dave. I know, right? I genuinely, like, I woke up and I was like, oh, Three Chord Dave, that's what it's going to be, because it shows I'm not taking myself seriously, and people won't expect me to be a good guitar player if I use Three Chord Dave. How wrong I was. Still, as you know, there you go. Three Chord Dave works. I like it. Corey Hergott says, I kind of want to build a Strat with a P90 in the bridge like a junior. The P90 in the bridge of the one that I built sounds fantastic in that guitar. It's a Gibson P90. I like seeing people do stuff like that. I think it's mashing two worlds together. It's very cool, indeed. So definitely, I think you should do that if you can at some point, Corey. Richard Clark says, Scott's guitars are great and his live streams are a hoot. You guys should check one out. I never get tired of talking about guitars. Yeah, I think Scott's videos are cool and very, very enjoyable. You should definitely check them out. And yeah, do that. He genuinely is getting better and better each video, so you should check him out. If you've got the time, give him a subscribe and a like and tell him Three Chord Dave sent you just for the crack. Scott says, my house is a basement. I constantly wonder if it's full of radon. Yeah, that'd be on my mind as well, I suppose. Walmart, there's Amazon now. It's very true. Marcia says, the house I grew up in and lived in most of my life had a basement. It was a crap shack, no joke. Not just for rich people. No, but just here in Ireland. I mean, like most houses don't have them at all. So maybe other places in Europe, but yeah, here in Ireland we don't have basements or cellars or whatever. None of my friends have them. None of my normal friends. But yeah, every now and then I see a video on YouTube's like converting my basement into a music studio or converting my basement into a home theater. It's like, I could use a basement area. That'd be great. So anytime I'm looking at houses that I want to buy, I'm like, does it have a basement? And it never does. So there you go. Rob F says Richard Clark is 100% correct about Scott Bugfoot's videos. Well worth one's time. Indeed. Yeah, absolutely. I would encourage everyone to check him out. Matt van Bosch says Black Friday has become a bit silly in England too. It is literally all months, although I do think there will be some heavy discounting on some guitars this year. I think so too, Matt. I think we've got some deals coming our way. There's a lot of discounted or discontinued lines, I should say. And that's why I think 2024 is actually going to be a huge year for guitar, new models and stuff like that, because there's a lot of stuff being discontinued right now or about to be discontinued. So there we go. Benny said, Marty, yeah, you missed Slash. He came by and visited Dave in person just because he is such a big fan. Benny, come on, man. I told you, anyone who wasn't watching when it happened wasn't to know about it. And we're editing it out of the replay. So no one will be able to see it unless they were here live. So let's keep it to ourselves. Slash wanted it that way. But I appreciate you, man, for letting Marcia needs to know, I suppose. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. Tyson's Corner, Hex Department Store, had a Ticketmaster, spent many a night in the 80s waiting to buy tickets. Me too, man. I mean, not in that store, but yeah, sitting outside Golden Discs in Bray, and then Whites for Music in Gorey or Enniscorthy or Wexford town. Those are all just town names. Yeah, many a great night though. It was great fun. There's always people singing, and then of course it gets to like 5 a.m. and everyone's just tired. And invariably some dickhead would pull up in a car right as the store is about to open and expect to go to the front of the queue. And it didn't work out well. Every time. Anyway, some knob brought a guitar every time. Just one dude brought a guitar every time. Hate those guys. Scott Bogman says, new release games and music used to be awesome in Newfoundland before the internet. Our stores are open a half hour before anywhere else in North America. Interesting. There you go. Games and movies before the rest of North America. Daniel says, you probably had more fun in the parking lot than the shop itself. I mean, I'm not going to comment on that, but we lived the same experiences at times, I think. Rock and Rob says, cheers, Dave from USA. Dig your show and Collins waffling. No swearing with his last MOD with that mini humbucker in the fender. Haven't watched the video yet. Collins one this week, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It looks cool. It looks like the kind of project I would do just for the crack. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it. But thanks, Rob. I appreciate that so much, man. Slash sometimes pocket dials Dave. He does, but we're old pals. We go back to our Velvet Revolver days. This is the thing. I used to be actually in Velvet Revolver. None of you recognize me, so it's fine. Don't worry about it. Baffing says, Benny, you mean the Slash doll on his shelf? No, the real Slash was here. Do you not remember? Another $1,000 plus epi. I mean, there's bound to be more. Yeah, Dave is hilarious. Well, thank you, Marcia. I appreciate it. I think I'm hilarious, so I approve of that comment. Rock and Rob says, tired of Joe Bonamassa epis. Well, yeah. Maybe he'll do a Gibson next year, actually. That's probably what's going to happen. Now that I've said he's definitely getting an Epiphone signature, he'll probably do a Gibson next year. Rob says, really, Dave? Joe B is sure to have a signature epi. The year they put me 6 feet under. Dude, I'm telling you, they're going to put Joe Bonamassa's out. Joe Bonamassa will be long gone and he'll still be getting signature guitars put out. Hopefully that's a long, long time in the future. Daniel says, how many writers that make it are actually good? So I can talk to you a little bit about that if you want, if you're interested. The ratio of writers who are good is it's tiny compared to the number of writers who try to get into that business. I think I'm qualified to speak about it because I worked in the business a little bit. I've written stuff that got made. I've written for things that got made. I've written with some high profile people, some not so high profile people. I ran film festivals and I've done a lot of work in the film business for particularly geared towards writers. The problem with most writing that you actually get to see when it's on movies or TV shows is that if I sell a script, right, and it's a really good script, it has to be really good for the people to give me the money to buy, to say, hey, this is great, I'm going to buy it from you because it's great. But then invariably, no matter how good it is, they give it to someone else to rewrite it. And that person needs to rewrite a certain percentage. I think it's 35% has to change for that person to get a credit. If you don't get a screen credit, you don't get royalty or residual payments. So you have to try and change that much. So every writer who comes on to the script, which could be 3, 4, 5 writers, tries to change 35-40% of the script so that they will get paid if the movie comes out and it continues on and on. So scripts tend to be good when they start. They get watered down, they get usable, and then somebody makes the decision, shit, we better film this because we paid a lot of money for it. And then it's not as good as the script initially. So people who become professional writers are generally very good writers. But the problem is they all water down each other's work and it's not that good then. You could hold a whole day-long seminar about how it's a fucked up industry. It's not all about why they were on strike, but a lot of it was because of things like that as well. To the point where I got sick of the whole business and just was like, I'm not going to do this anymore, and I left. And that was 5 years ago now, pretty much. So there you go. Glenn Bailey says, crazy prediction would be that Joe Bonamassa won't be getting a new epi. But I'm not crazy, Glenn. I'm not going to say that. Marcia says, oh yeah, was there for the TTK live stream. I tried to cut him off at the pass before he said Slash got fired. I wanted him to see the statement that had been released 8 hours prior to the stream. Oh, wow. Yeah, do your research, man. Do your research. I do love TT Gay. I guess he didn't check if there were any updates. So that's the other. Some people just run with it. You know, they get a story, they just run with it. So where we got? We got about 20 minutes left, guys, of episode 99. So I'm way, way, way behind. I think I'm like an hour behind at this point. So I'm going to jump through comments, particularly when you guys are talking to each other in the chat there, which is great to see. So I'm going to skip through a lot of stuff. If you are trying to make an important point, you want me to read out your comment, make sure you tag me in it. Just put it at 3 Chord Dave on it, on the front of it, and then say what you want to say. And of course, if you do super chats, they pop up in front of me, so I'll see those first and read those out as soon as they come in as well. So just to be aware, no obligations or anything to do anything like that. But those are the ways. Tag me in it. I'll be sure to read those. And the other thing, you can do a super chat if you choose. That'll get read out straight away. Anyways, let me see. I'll just read out what I can from everyone I see that looks interesting. Daniel, yeah, Rolling Stone magazine now sucks and so far left. Like on the shelf, like it's over there, over on the left side of the shelf. I don't know. I've never actually read Rolling Stone, to be honest with you. Baffing says, is it me, but I cannot stand Bono. Bono, if you walk around Dublin for any length of time, you will at some point see some graffiti that says Bono is a pox, as in smallpox. Just the disease pox. So people are always giving him shit here. Just play your fucking music, man. Shut up. That's what I think people would prefer him to do. But there you go. He is he's a crazy dude. Yeah, he gets a lot of shit here, like in Ireland, and I think a lot of it's deserved. Are you two one of the greatest rock bands of all time? No. They're not a bad band, but they're not one of the best. Daniel Tiller says, another artist for PRS to pick up. Both me and Slash. We will have contract negotiations with them. Vincent Doyle says, hi all. There's a beautiful mid-80s white Gibson ES 175 for sale on adverts for a really great price. The same model Izzy Stradlin used in that iconic 88 Ritz gig. If any G&R fan is interested. I feel like you might be talking directly to me, Vincent. Thanks so much, man. Great to see you, by the way. Thanks for dropping into the chat. Let me see if I can find that and it'll show the good people. ES 175, was it? Yeah, I think that's what he played in that gig anyway, isn't it? 3,000. That's in Cork. That's a refinish, is it? No, maybe not. Guys are like, what the hell is he looking at? Interesting. So yeah, I suppose I can just show you a picture. Because, yeah, so this website, oh, hang on, I need to do a thing here to show the image. So this website, adverts.ie, it's basically like a Craigslist or whatever that we use here in Ireland. Adverts.ie, it's a very nice website, I like it. You sell everything from a car to a ES 175 on it. And you can see the listing here. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. I'd like to, if I was interested in buying it, I would definitely dig into it a little bit more. My initial thought was it's been refinned, but there's close-up pictures and stuff that make it look like it hasn't been. It's just aged in the way old Gibsons do. Yeah, it's a nice guitar. Very nice. $3,000 is a good price for it, so there might be something wrong with it. How do I get rid of this now? There we go. Now my screen looks weird. All right, that's fine. Okay, thanks Vincent for that. Appreciate it. I'll have a closer look at that tomorrow. I don't think I'm buying more guitars this year though. But thanks Vincent. I saw Pelham Blue Friday show for Green Day. It was awesome. I believe they're one of the best openers that Green Day ever had. Glenn says, are we sure Slash didn't go to Gibson? I think I saw a signature Slash LP on AliExpress. That's, again, That's a leak. You're not supposed to give out that information, Glenn. What the hell? Uh, but yeah, absolutely. Mark says, I just find it odd that Slash hasn't posted anything about the Magneton deal and clarification about Marshall's stuff on his own social media. Um, I mean, the statement was put out. I mean, I don't know if it's on his social media. I didn't check today because we're pals and I don't check up on him that much. But yeah, no, the information was put out there and it was a very cool, like straightforward announcement, I think. There you go. Let me see what we got. T says, have you been watching Andrew Tate recently, Dave? I haven't. I haven't. No, I was the OG, to be honest, in terms of self-confidence in oneself. Uh, Money sounds like Sisk sold for the cash. Um, Slash sold for the cash, maybe. Yeah, you never know. You never know. I heard Slash is making a deal with Rich Guy and Top Hat from Monopoly. Again, that's a leak. You're not supposed to give out that information, but yeah, I get you. Uh, for sure. Um, all right, let me try and catch back up again. See, this is what I got to do. I got to catch up and then go through. Just make sure I didn't miss anything. And let me see just. What was that? Oh, Jesus, that was ages ago. Find it. There we go. Magneton are great amps, are way too loud for me, too expensive too. Since the best ones all seem to be 50 to 100 watt. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, 50 watts enough, isn't it? And hundreds, most people ain't going to use them. Muddy H. Rose says, full disclosure, I have no morals. I'm sure you're already aware. That is very true. Muddy H. Rose has no morals. Mark says, I think it was the way this Epiphone got leaked that I had a problem with. It was probably an accident. The guy didn't even seem to try to ask if it was there by mistake. Dave just leaked the leak. That's different. I would disagree with you, Marshall. I don't think he did anything wrong by asking if it was meant to be out for sale. Because here's two things I would think about it, right? If I walked into the store and I saw it, I'd be like, can I please have that? Thanks very much. And I would go home, make a YouTube video about it straight away. The second thing is, small, like Glenn was saying, guitar store was closing down because they're not making sales as often as they used to. So they were probably very happy to get that $1,500 that day, to get that sale in. So even if he had asked, they most likely would have said it's on the shop floor, you can buy it. I don't think it was a mistake they put it out. They wanted a sale and they got a sale. I also wouldn't rule out the possibility that Gibson reached out and said, hey, put it out for sale. If somebody buys it, we'll get publicity and it'll be fine. So I really don't think the guy did anything wrong whatsoever. And honestly, I would have done the exact same thing. I wouldn't have asked if it was okay to buy it. I would have been like, give me that before anyone sees it. Ben Allmark says, y'all, I'm just noodling around while listening to Dave, and I'm using a cheap fake clon pedal. It's the golden horse made by Mosky, and man, does it sound epic. Very impressive for what it costs. Very cool, man. Glenn says, if manufacturers didn't want leaks, they wouldn't release material of themselves with new models hidden in the background. Like Cesar does all the time. Exactly, Glenn. I think that's a very good point. Mar says, or if it was done by the brand's marketing department on purpose, that's different. It's quite possible. Like, I don't know if that's what happened, but I just feel like it was too... also, by the way, not just that leak, like I said, a picture arrived with me before that actual leak happened, and it was a different store, I believe, because I believe the store that had it, or that the guy bought the Epiphone from, maybe I shouldn't say this, but I believe it was in Maine in the US. That's what I've been told. And I had a store that was definitely not in Maine, because I know the person who took the picture and he does not live in Maine. So I was not in Maine around that time. So yeah, there was a few different leaks coming. Somebody was going to leak that guitar around that time. There was several instances of it coming in, and I think that one went so big that the others just got buried and not a big deal was made of them, because those ones had good pictures and all that sort of stuff. So it was coming one way or the other. He wasn't the only one that I'm sure there's been a few of them sold at this point, but people are just not talking. Richard says, if I was sold an unreleased guitar, I would make bank off Keyclord. You're not wrong. Make a video, sell it, or yeah, Keyclord would probably buy it off you. You could make it your own video, sell it on Reverb and make the money. And that is something that I talked about as well. I think it's a perfectly reasonable thing to do in that regard when you are trying to make a little bit of a name for yourself as well. As a small YouTuber doing that, brilliant, got a lot of attention. It's unfortunate he had to delete his video, unless Gibson asked them and they paid him to take it down, in which case, all good. Richard Clark with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Richard. Says, we know you can't read them all, Dave, but that's good. Thanks, Richard. I appreciate you, man. Thanks. That's super cool of you to say. I appreciate it. Sorry I was a bit late reading that one out because it was behind another page that I didn't see. So thanks, sir. The page is back up now. I should see any more super chats to come in. Thank you. Mark says, if it was a mistake, it might have gotten a small shop in trouble and could lead Gibson to only want to sell direct. I don't think they'd have a way of knowing which shop it was unless they were told directly. Maybe they would. I suppose the serial number was there, so possibly. I generally am for leaks that are done on purpose, but this might have hurt more than it helped this time. I would be of the opposite opinion, to be honest, that it helps the store on that particular day. And also, it was no secret that there was an Epiphone Greenie coming out. If it was like nobody knew this was coming, yeah, probably be more on the fence about it. But we know this is coming. What's his name? Cesar mentioned it specifically himself a couple of times now. Same with the Dave Grohl. The Dave Grohl is in a store somewhere, and I believe it is. They're being shipped out to stores already, but not for sale for a while. If somebody sells one of those and the details get leaked, it's not going to hurt the sales of those guitars, not in the slightest. Sure, Gibson / Epiphone will be like, we're unhappy with you, but really they're just getting free publicity for their guitars, so they shouldn't be too pissed off. Glenn says, for episode 100, we're going to give Glenn a blue wrench, a Pelham blue wrench. If I can work it out, man, I will. Mark says, when leaks are contrived by the brand or a large retailer, made a very brief mistake and pulled it down. Muddy says, they'll be fine, Marsha. Exactly. Gibson are doing all right in this. Marsh says, I hope so, Muddy, because I just hate for a small shop to lose their ability to sell Gibson brands. If it really was an honest mistake, most of us would have pointed it out to the shop. I don't think most people would. Honestly, I don't think most people would be like, oh, the thing is out. Most people don't know release dates as well. That's the other thing. Because most people aren't watching Chord Dave every week to see when things are coming out or to get announcements or other channels. So they walk into a guitar store. I've heard this is coming out. Like, I genuinely believe the guy's story that he thought it was coming out that week, so he was like, cool, I can buy it now. And then everyone was like, oh, this isn't supposed to be out for a couple of weeks. So, yeah, I don't think the store will lose anything whatsoever. They might get a slap on the wrist from Gibson, but if they know who they are, but yeah, no, not a big deal. Marsha, I'm sure the shop will be fine, says Muddy. Maybe Gibson will just ask them to be more careful. Either way, it's not the customer's responsibility. I do agree with that, absolutely. They'll still sell all of them, says Muddy, absolutely. Let me see what we got. Let's see. Oh, this is... Yeah, I don't want to... What have we got here? Why is it doing that? Okay, somebody has... Something's messed up here. Hang on, sorry. All right, we're good. I think it's back up. Rock and Rob says, if you're talking about the minis, they were built off in the 60s, NY style deluxe mini humbuckers. The New York deluxe is a true classic offered with the other vintage hot vintage output. These designs offers classic performance with a superior top and response. A great definition, warm when driven, and New York Deluxe is a very versatile pickup for your mini humbucker applications. Absolutely, absolutely. Graham Hatton's here, says Marshall will go almost boutique. Great to see you, Graham. Thanks for dropping in. Yeah, I think that's it's possible. It's possible, especially that they're newer. Ownership is what do you call it? Why are these things popping up? Yeah, their newer ownership has different ideas, I think, than the older ownership. So there's definitely a possibility. I played with a guy named Stash. He was always hiding his weed. I mean, that's I can understand why he got his name, to be honest. If you work for Gibson, how do you still have a job? I mean, honestly, I just wear a wig when I go to work. I mean, I don't work for Gibson. Muddy says, I'm sure the shop knew exactly what the guitar was. It was their inventory. They should. I never ask if it's okay to buy something if it's for sale. It's just a guitar, not the nuclear codes. I mean, you've tried to buy the nuclear codes as well. I know for a fact that you have. We exchanged emails about that. Glenn Bailey says, Dave doesn't work for Gibson, but he didn't say he doesn't do contract work for them. I didn't. That's true. You never know. The fact that Cesar hates me is probably a reason that I mean, he doesn't hate me. He just dislikes that I put out information when he doesn't want it out there. Formula C says, I think there are new moderns as well. There are indeed. There are actual new moderns with figured tops, and they're actually pretty nice, and they're €3,000, I think. Yeah, the nice green one. I like it. I like all of the new moderns. They look pretty cool. But yeah, they definitely have and the studio. I did a video about it. The modern collection when they put them out first. But yeah, it's definitely a thing. Let me see what else we got. Why I'm seeing a lot of Chris from Coburg's messages being deleted. What's going on here? I'm sure he is not doing anything too bad. All right. Well, Chris, hope you're doing all right, man, because I'm not sure what's going on. I can't go through all the messages and see. Let me see. To make Bat the baby happy, I shall not return no more. Chord Dave, chef, no more Chris. I have better things to do than argue with Skids and Eddie Van Halen wannabes. What happened? What's going on? Chris, please don't. You're a big part of the channel. I hope everybody knows that. So yeah, I hope you hope everything's all right. What is? So anyway, let's try and get to the bottom of it. Chris, I hope you know you're always welcome here. We'll just hope that whatever's gone on here isn't going to make you leave the channel. Because I love seeing you here every week, and we we would miss you, man. I don't know what's going on there. I haven't seen all the comments. I'll go back through them and see if I can afterwards. Hopefully you'll come back to us next week and we'll see. Scott, maybe you can fill me in on what's going on there at some point, so I can figure out what the best thing to do on it is. Jesus. We don't need that kind of stuff, guys. Look, disagreements are going to happen. Let's all just try and not make the other person not come back to the channel, because we're all welcome here. Everyone's welcome here, and all kinds of people and stuff like that. Sad to see it, honestly. Maybe most females would check to see if the greenie was a goof. Maybe this is one of those men are from Venus type deals. See, I love that we can disagree and still be friends. We can disagree and still be friends. Absolutely. Yeah, that's one of the main things I've said on this channel for a long time. We can all, and a lot of us do, have different opinions on things, strongly held opinions on guitar related things, and then we have still friendships because it's like Muddy H2O. He's always ripping the piss out of me in his super chat, but he's still my friend. I still love him very much. So I think that's a good point, Marcia. And a lot of the females I know would not have checked. They would have just bought it. I don't know. I think it might be just you are a better person than a lot of us, to be quite honest. Marcia, that must be what it is. Glenn Bailey says, let's have a beer and get through this without any of us leaving. I think that's a great thing there, Glenn. Absolutely. Malcolm says, I'm not testing you, Scott. I know you're a good bloke. I like how it say 86,000 seconds. There's a line. You've not crossed it. Good to hear. Looks like Dave caught up to the main event. Yeah, I see. This is a problem. This is probably why I do need more mods at this point because I had no idea what was going on there. Uh, Honestly, I'm still in the dark. I don't know what to say about it because I haven't a clue what's happened. So hopefully it can just be everybody just amicably just best thing to do if you disagree with someone, come back and enjoy the rest of the stuff. Just ignore the person you don't want to talk to, you don't like. That's fine. Um, yeah, you can block. I'm pretty sure you can block somebody yourself so that you don't see their comments and so forth, and you can just ignore them if you have a problem with anyone. But yeah, I would encourage, please come back, guys, everybody, and let's just we have a big week next week, episode 100. I want to see everybody who's been a big um part of the 100 streams, and that's all of you guys who are here tonight for sure. Um, Totally, Robert, dysfunctional family here. We absolutely, we absolutely are. Um, yeah, Marcia, things like this sadden me. Yeah, I really don't know, guys, what's going on. Muddy says, I disagree with Dave 50 times a day and he still tries to be friends with me. Yeah, been successful, but he sure does try. Honestly, that's almost true, to be quite honest with you. I mean, there are elements of that, what he said there, that are not true. But I mean, yes, we do. We only disagree like 30 times a day. So he's exaggerating, but someday we'll be friends. Um, Scott says, I'm not picking sides either, by the way. I hope not. Yeah, that's good. Um, Rob says, I think that's why I fit in. Look, we are definitely a weird group, and that's why I love us all so much. Um, Ryan says, I'm not picking sides either. Want to disagree with everybody. Uh, that's fine too, Ryan. That works. That works for me. I've been the person that disagrees with everybody at times. Plus, I was at the liquor store when this was going on and had no clue what happened. I don't know what happened either. So yeah, someone fill me in. What the hell? Um, okay, tell him I can't get rid of Dave because he's totally not letting us get out of his grip. I don't know. I do my best just to keep you coming back with my charm and wit and good looks. Um, that's what I think of myself. And anyway, uh, so anyway, what did happen here? This is right. I'm just gonna have a quick look. Oh, challenges to a battle. Okay. Okay. Well, look. Yeah, look, listen, guys, let's all just try and put it behind us. I'll speak to Scott maybe and see if we can figure out what's going on. I get an idea. I'll go through all these messages and stuff because it's disappointing that we've ended tonight on a bit of a fallout. So I am confused, Marcia. Yeah, absolutely. Uh, I don't know what to say. Listen, next week, episode 100. Let's try and have a good week building up to it. Be excited. I mean, it's not going to be super special or nothing. I've got no plans. I do have plans. Whether I can get any of them to happen, I don't know. But either way, next Saturday we will have a good time. Everybody will be in party mood. It'll be fantastic. And it'll be episode number 100, which is a huge achievement to get to episode 100. And I'm very humble about it. So thank you so much, guys, for allowing me to um, be part of your Saturdays every week. It's massive for me, and it means a lot to me. So thank you so much. Hopefully everybody has a great week, and everybody can be friends again. I'm going to head off. Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you next week. Have a great one. My name is Chord Dave, and I'll be back with another guitar related video very soon. But until then, take care.